Hey everybody, welcome to the Chair with James. I was gone, I know, last week. To those of you wondering, everything's okay, but has some stuff going on. Anyway, week 13 was pretty crazy. Had some real surprises, real upsets, I think, and just some amazing games, I think. And it wasn't supposed to be that way, but somehow, some way, you get it done. Uh, I guess any week in football, you never know. Any given Sunday. Break it down real quick. The Week 12 games had Cleveland going to Tennessee. This was going to be uh, a statement game for both. And Cleveland went out and, and really did that. I think they led it to have 35-0 anyway, but they do give up 35 themselves in the second half. But luckily they scored six more, so they end up winning 41-35 to the Browns to go to 9-3. The Titans, with a big letdown, go to 8-4. And it goes to show you with the defense of Tennessee, it's just not there. And that's been all year long. And it's just been surprising to me. If Henry isn't going, Tannehill and the offense isn't going, they're not going to win games. So they can beat Indianapolis once, but they have the toughest time trying to stop Cleveland. And credit to Baker Mayfield. He's looking for the extension, and he did so well that Sunday. New Orleans went to Atlanta. Close game. Falcons almost had a chance to win on a Hail Mary at the end, but it was knocked down. Taysom Hill had a couple throwing touchdowns, which was encouraging to see if you're a Saints fan. They go to 10-2. The Falcons go to 4-8. New Orleans wins 21-16. In a game that Chicago blew, they were up at one time 30-20. Detroit comes back and defeats the Bears 34-30. There was some questionable plays by Allen Robinson III. Got a ball, couple passes, and ended up not getting out of bounds or not stretching for the first down. And that could have made a big difference in the game and how it ended. But Detroit, you gotta give it up Matthew Stafford finding Marvin Jones and whoever he has available. So they're both 5-7. Indianapolis went to Houston, and this one was a close one as well. And if Watson didn't bobble snap and fumble it away, who knows what would have happened. But the Colts hold on. They win 26-20. They do. Colts go to 8-4. The Texans go to 4-8. The Raiders, well, the last time they went to the Meadowlands to face the Jets, they got blown out last year. This year, it was a real close game, and really it shouldn't have been. If the Raiders made any progress, you thought, okay, they should easily win this game by at least 14. It took a prayer at the end of the game to make it happen, and I'll have more on the Raider show coming up after this one. But prayer to Henry Ruggs III. Jets blitzed, all out blitz with the linebackers in middle and the line, and that left 3-on-3. So everybody was man on man in the coverage. So thank God Greg Williams, even though he lost his job for it, thank God he called that, and it worked out for the Raiders. In that benefit, Raiders win 31-28. They go to 7-5. The Jets still winless at 0-12. Oh, if that would have been their first win for the Jets, I would be pissed, real pissed off. The Bengals went to Miami, and this one, real defensive game, other from one, let down by the Dolphins. They score enough, they do enough. Tua does enough, but again, the story was the defense and a big brawl. Well, not brawl, but just some argument after Jeremiah Grant got hit late on a punt. That was pretty much the main highlight of the game. The Dolphins win 19-7. They go to 8-4. The Dolphins are 8-4. The Bengals are 2-9-1. Now this game, I didn't expect much. I thought Minnesota would destroy Jacksonville, but they did lead early. Did Minnesota, but Jacksonville came back to their credit. Mike Glennon came in, and he did a great job. Got the game to overtime, and of course this isn't the same Vikings. Way different, So they let teams hang in the games, and they shouldn't. But a field goal late won the game for the Vikings 27-24 in overtime. The Vikings go to 6-6 and keep their playoffs hopes alive just for right now. The Jaguars go to 1-11. The afternoon games, the Rams went to Arizona, and Arizona just got behind, and after leading 7-0, they got behind, and then the Rams played just a perfect game, pretty much. Other from the defense, giving up some plays, but the Rams' offense was working. I think Jared Goff heard the criticism and much more, and he and Woods and Kupp, they all got the job done. The defense was getting after Murray. He didn't have a great game. At halftime, he looked distraught. So the Rams go to 8-4. The Cardinals go to 6-6. Rams are alone in first place. They win 38-28. The reason they're alone in first place because the Giants went to Seattle and defeated the Seahawks somehow 17-12. The Giants go to 5-7. Seahawks go to 8-4. This game, hard to explain. I was watching it, and I didn't think much of it because I thought it was going to be a blowout, and the backups would come in. Geno Smith and whomever. Carlos Hyde would come in and play for the Seahawks, but that obviously wasn't the case. The Giants themselves played a perfect game with as much as they've had out there available. Without Daniel Jones, Colt McCoy came out of nowhere and was a starter, and he came in and did well. The running backs for the Giants did well. Alfred Morris, who people forget about, he signed with the Giants. Of course, they don't have Saquon Barkley, so Alfred Morris and Wayne Gilman came in, and they were the Thunder and Lightning. It's not quite Tiki Barber and Ron Dane, or Ahmad Bradshaw and Brandon Jacobs, but they did the job on the ground and when they needed to in the air. So shout out to the Giants and Colt McCoy, the first place New York Giants in that NFC East at 5-7. That's what it is. Now, this game might be the shocker. The most embarrassing. But, with the Seahawks, they just play down to their opponents. And there's a guy I know named Todd, and he does a Seahawker show. Check that out on YouTube. And the Grinds as well. He'll break it all down for you, and he was steaming because you expect a win and you get that. And that was so odd to see. Now the most embarrassing game, I should say. New England went to the Chargers, and New England won 45-0. It was over in the first half. I believe it was 28-0 at the half, or 35-0. Special teams was working for the Patriots. Cam just ran the ball, got a couple of rushing touchdowns. There was a punt return by Olszewski, and there was a blocked field goal attempt just before the half taken by Devin McCourty to score. And it was definitely an embarrassing game for the Chargers, and I just couldn't believe what I was seeing. It was just horrible, I guess. Chargers, New England goes to 6-6, and the Chargers go to 3-9. Philadelphia went to Lambeau to face the Packers, and this was a game I thought, okay, maybe Jalen Hurts gets in. If Wentz doesn't show anything, maybe by half they make the switch. Well, I think it was in the third quarter they made the switch, and it worked. It worked just for a little bit, but then the defense gave up a long run by Aaron Jones, went about 77 yards, and that sealed the game for the Packers. Jalen Hurts did look good. He had a couple great throws. If the defense of Philly stopped him and gave Hurts a shot, who knows what could have happened. But Green Bay won 30-16. Green Bay goes to 9-3. Philadelphia goes to 3-8-1, and Jalen Hurts will be the starter coming up this week. For the Sunday night game, of course, I wasn't really intrigued into it. But Denver's defense did a hell of a job. They hold Kansas City to 22 points, but it wasn't enough. The Bronco offense just couldn't get anything going. Drew Lock is not looking like he's not the answer in Denver, but you have to ride with him and see what you got. So it's 22-16 Kansas City. They go to 11-1. The Broncos go to 4-8. Monday Night Football. Well, there was two games on Monday. There was Washington going into Pittsburgh. Didn't know really what to expect out of this game. Fortunately, Antonio Gibson got hurt for Washington, but they kept the attack going. Alex Smith was doing a great job, and I was disappointed really in the Steeler defense. I didn't think they would be giving up points, but they did. And Washington just got stops when they needed to. The defense was really good. Sweat, Chase Young, in the secondary, linebackers doing really well, and they shocked the world and beat the unbeaten Steelers 23-17. Washington goes to 5-7. Steelers go to 11-1, and now unfortunately for the Steelers, they lose another linebacker to a knee injury, so that'll be tough going forward for the Steelers. The Monday night game in Arizona, it was Buffalo playing San Francisco. Of course, the Niners having to move out of California and Santa Clara County because of the COVID restrictions. I was wondering how they would come out. I figured they wouldn't win the game, but hopefully they would make it close. And they kind of did in the first half, but Buffalo ended up winning 34-24. Just all around great passing by Allen, getting it to Diggs, to Beasley. Devin Singletary had a great game rushing. He really did. And the Bills go to 9-3. The Niners go to 5-7. There was even a Tuesday night football game. What was supposed to be Thursday night football last week. Dallas headed into Baltimore, and Baltimore really did a job. They looked really good. They scored 34. Dallas 17. Baltimore goes to 7-5. And the Cowboys go to 3-9. It just feels like a lost year for Dallas as they fall more and more. I know they're not out of the race completely. Only 2 games back of the Giants. But it just seems like it's pretty much a done year for the Cowboys as they try to move forward without Dak Prescott. And it's a little weary about the future of the Cowboys right now, quarterback-wise. Andy Dalton's trying to do what he can do. That's tough. Week 14 started off with Thursday Night Football. It was the Rams and the Patriots. Now, Patriots didn't have to go anywhere, played at the same stadium. Total different result. The Rams' defense was clicking. Aaron Donald, I forget his name, Floyd, the linebacker, did the job up front. The secondary with Ramsey, they frustrated Cam Newton so much. Sacked him, I think, 5 or 6 times. The offense was clicking when it needed to. They passed, not so much to Woods, but Kupp. For Jared Goff, he did a great job. Although at the end, they kind of scored more points, scored enough points, and they just ran the ball, and which was fine in the first half, but then the Patriots stopped them in the second half. But it didn't matter, because the Patriots couldn't get anything going offensively. Final score was 24-3 LA. They go to 9-4, and New England goes to 6-7, and their playoff hopes are really dwindling. They're still in it mathematically, but doesn't look like they're going to get it. And there's a lot of questions on Cam Newton. You know, to me, he can't really throw the deep ball anymore. And you kind of need to do that in this league. I know they're without Edelman and, some more weapons, tight ends, but I would wonder if Cam could even get it over there. We know he can rush, for yardage, 5 or less, whatever he needs to get for a first down on third down, but it just seems like the Patriots and Cam Newton are just faltering at the wrong time, and it happens, but not to the Patriots. This is the first time they won't have double-digit wins since 2002, the year after they won the first Super Bowl. It's amazing to me to think that even in 2008, when they lost Brady on opening day against Kansas City, that even with Matt Castle leading the way, and Lawrence Maroney and the others on that ball club, they still went 10-6 but couldn't make the playoffs. That's how tough the AFC was that year, and how tough it is even a little bit this year. Not too much, but a little bit. For the Sunday games coming up for Week 14, Minnesota at 6-6 goes to Tampa Bay, coming off their bye at 7-5. The early favorite is Tampa Bay, coming off a bye. Tom Brady, you feel confident in that. Question is, can Dalvin Cook be stopped by the Tampa Bay defense? And they had a couple of weeks to plan and scheme for it. So we'll see how that matchup goes. I'm going to go Tampa with that one. Arizona at 6-6 goes to the Giants, who are 5-7. Now this game is huge for both teams. Arizona's trying to stay in the race for a wild card. Probably not going to get the West. That's between LA and Seattle. The Giants at 5-7, yes, are first place in the NFC East. They are trying to win that division and continue to win. Hopkins is hobbled, but he will play, and that's big for the Cardinals. They're going to have Larry Fitzgerald back. Remember the last time the Cardinals played in that time zone in Foxborough. And I believe the Patriots won that game just by 4. It was a mistake by the Cardinals at the end. This game really, to me, is a toss-up, and you would think, without Daniel Jones, no way. But it's depending on the running game of the Giants. If they can get going, and then if they frustrate Murray with the defense. I forgot to mention, the Giants' defense did an amazing job on Russell Wilson and the Seahawks, frustrating them so bad. So I want to see if that will be the case with Kyler Murray and the Cardinals. I'm going to go with the upset. I'm going to go with the Giants. Dallas goes to Cincinnati. Dallas at 3-9. Cincinnati 9-1. I want to see Giovanni Bernard have a great game rushing against that horrible Dallas defense. Sorry, Matt. I really want to see the Bengals do well, and even without Burrow, I want to see others do well. Their targets, Higgins and not really AJ Green, but Tyler Boyd, who's ever available. Let's see them do well. But Andy Dalton coming back to where he played, I think he'll try to have a great game and take some shots downfield. I'm gonna go with the Cowboys slightly in this one. So I'm hoping to see Andy Dalton get a nice welcome back, and hopefully he plays a great game back where he used to play. Green Bay goes to Detroit. Should be an easy game. Packers already favored by 8. I'm pretty sure they'll win by 17 at least, like 34-17. Final. Packers at 9-3. The Lions even coming off that surprise comeback win in Chicago at 5-7. New Orleans at 10-2 goes to Philadelphia to play the 8-1 Eagles. Eagles, I think, still win this game. Saints, I think, still win this game pretty handily. I think their defense does a great job against Jalen Hurts, frustrates Hurts. But I want to see Jalen Hurts do well. I really do. There's a hope in reality, but we'll see what happens. The way he came in and he threw, and I hope it's a great game, but I'm going to go with the Saints. The Falcons at 4-8 go to play the Chargers at 3-9. These two teams are just meant for each other. They give up big leads, they blow games, and they have bad records. They're just perfect for one another, right? Guess I'll go with the Falcons, but it'll be a shootout, an ugly shootout. We'll see what happens. I'm going to go with the Falcons. Let's see, though, if the Chargers cannot close the game again. Washington at 5-7 plays the 49ers. Both 5-7. This game in Arizona, of course. Gibson will be out for the Washington football team, and that's going to be unfortunate. 49ers, they could get the win in this game if their running attack does well and Mullins limits his mistakes. Try to get Deebo Samuel the ball. Brandon Akuik, hopefully get him going as well. I'm going to go with the Niners on this one. But Alex Smith playing against his old team, unfortunately not in California, though. That would be interesting to see. But I'm going to say the Niners, but I hope Alex Smith gets the win. Kansas City, the big game of the week, I think. Kansas City at 11-1 goes to Miami to face 8-4 Dolphins. This, of course, if you look at the Chiefs, the last time they were in this stadium, they won the Super Bowl this year, back in February, before all this started. Hopefully it's a great game, and the defense frustrates Kansas City, and Tua, doesn't get shy and runs the ball and finds his receivers. I'm still going with Kansas City, though, but hopefully it's a real close game. Hopefully. Tennessee goes to Jacksonville. Tennessee loses this. I'm never going to be confident in them again. They're 8-4. Jacksonville at 1-11. This is a game Jacksonville is heavily favored, and the defense has to really have a good showing, because if they allow Mike Glennon and whoever else on the Jaguars to shine, James Robinson, then they might make that a real close game, and Tennessee might, in this trap game, lose. But I'm gonna go with the Titans. Houston goes to Chicago. Houston 4-8. Chicago at 5-7. Another opportunity for Mitchell Trubisky to shine and try to do something against. But there's a tough defense against the Texans, though, so that would be tough to play against. So I'm gonna go with Houston in that one. Denver and Carolina play each other. Carolina coming off to bye at 4. Both are 4-8 in Charlotte. It's just like the last game I previewed, where you don't really know what you're gonna get. You hope it's a good finish, a good game, but Christian McCaffrey is not likely to play for the rest of this season, and I don't mind that. I don't think he should anyway. So, I'm going to go with Carolina slightly. This is a game Jerry Jeudy has to shine, Noah Fant, and Drew Lock coming off their embarrassing COVID trip. But hopefully the Panthers get the win and be a good showing on the ground and then through the air. Indianapolis at 8-4 goes to Las Vegas to play the Raiders at 7-5. The Raiders coming off that improbable win, which should have been easy, but of course nothing ever is for the Raiders. Colts coming off the win slightly in Houston. Phillip Rivers has that turf toe injury, which he'll need surgery for in the offseason. This game, again, it's going to be tough because Colts have a great defense, even though sometimes it doesn't look like it. But and Josh Jacobs is questionable for the Raiders, so it's a real tough pick here. Of course, if you look behind me, you know who I want to win, So it's going to be a tough uphill battle. Going to need more of Devontae Booker and more of Carr's magic. More of Ruggs the third getting the ball, and Renfrow and Waller, who just had a great game against the Jets last week, have 200 yards plus. So we'll see what happens, but I hope the Raiders win that. Indy is favored by a field goal. In Seattle, the 0-12 Jets play the 8-4 Seahawks. I will be real shocked if the Seahawks lose to the Jets. I know someone else will too out there. Seahawker. They better not lose to the Jets. That's all I'm going to say. They got to get their act in gear. They got to get Chris Carson going. They got to get Metcalf the ball and look for Lockett deep. That Jet defense, though, they played really good, even against a pretty good offense that the Raiders have. Seahawks should have a better one, and they should win this game pretty easy. The Sunday Night Football game, now this one is tied, I think, for the best one of the week with the Chiefs and the Dolphins on Sunday morning. Pittsburgh at 11-1 goes to Buffalo, who's 9-3. I've been trying to think the last time Buffalo had a Sunday night game. It had to be like I don't even know last time they had one. Maybe recently, but I can't remember when the last time Alan Chris has gone up to Orchard Park. See how Connor, if he comes back for the Steelers, we'll see how he does. But they really need him. You could tell the offense. They threw 50 times, did Ben Roethlisberger and the Steelers. And in Buffalo, coming off a great defensive effort against the Niners, ran the ball so well. And I know the Steelers defense is really good too. I'm going to give the slight edge to Buffalo. But this game should be really close and really good. I hope to catch it. Monday Night Football. Now this one is really good too. But this is a personal battle for the Cleveland Browns. This will show, hey, that we are for real. We will avenge that Week 1 loss against the Ravens in Baltimore as they play Baltimore in Cleveland. Cleveland's 9-3, the Ravens at 7-5. This one will be very, very, very tough, but this will be a no let-up game for the Browns. They've got to get everything working again. They got to get to Lamar Jackson, frustrate him, make things work on offense with Mayfield. But I know that Baltimore defense is really good too, so it won't be as easy, of course. I'm going to give the slightest of edges to the Browns and just hope they win. But that'll be a real good game for sure. That'll be a real good game, and just hoping that uh, it'll be something that we'll look at back and say, hey, maybe the Browns, they're turning a corner. So we'll see about that. So that's been my week. 12 and week 12 recap and week 13 previews and predictions. See you next time on the chair. Stay safe out there. Later.